If you think about an alias passport, that passport is made of ink and paper and plastics and materials. All of those engineers who actually can create and fabricate that type of material, those are all overt employees. There's no reason for them to be undercover, but they still have to be an expert in what they do. All the people who do our disguises, almost all of them come from LA because they're all former Hollywood makeup artists, right? The people who put the secret pockets in your jackets and the secret pockets in your shoes and the secret pockets in your briefcase. I mean, those are people who have worked with materials in the past, whether they be fashion designers or whether they be luggage designers, whatever else it might be.
So you were recruited. I guess what makes up a perfect CIA recruit, or if you can say, why were you recruited specifically? So obviously you were in the military, you said the Air Force, I think, or you told me that earlier. So they already kind of probably had access to your information. They kind of knew who you were. So were there certain things that they told you that why they thought you were a good candidate, or maybe that, and what makes a good candidate for the CIA? Yeah,
so I actually, I always wondered why they chose me until I became senior enough in my career that I started being a voice in choosing who came next, right? And there's a number of things that go hand in hand. First, you get a very robust personality test. Every job in CIA, they know what is the right personality to succeed in that job. So,
but how would they have had that before you put your application in?
That's during the application process.
Okay, so but somehow they flagged you before you took that.
Well, so for me, they flagged me because they found me coming through an application process for another government organization that traveled overseas, took high risks, lived in places that were uncomfortable, and that I was ideologically driven. Right? So that's how they found me. But that's just one of many different recruitment avenues, right? They found my wife at a job fair. How do you, like at a job fair, they're looking for a specific type of person. The thing to keep in mind is, I mean, CIA gets something to the tune of 75 to 80,000 applicants a year. And that's not counting the thousands more that are actively recruited. Of all of those people that are sought out, only about 500 get accepted each year. So the process that takes them from being one of 80,000 to one of 500 is a vetting and assessment process, so that they only ever hire people after they know with high fidelity that person's personality is going to be a good fit for a certain job, that person's intellectual aptitude is going to be capable of carrying out that job, that person has certain ideological beliefs that make them loyal to a higher organization. Because if you think about it, CIA is an organization that is driven by ideology. You're not going to be able to lie, cheat, and steal your way through a 20-year career unless you truly believe you're doing it for some higher purpose. So they need to make sure it's not about recruit. They cast a wide net when they're recruiting. It's really through that assessment process that they find out who the best candidates will be.
Right. And so then the best candidates are different depending on what job they're being recruited for.
Correct.
Got it. So you may need to be a really good luggage manufacturer if you're trying to get concealed departments in your bags. Okay, got it. Now, you mentioned that the CIA is like an ideological institution. Why don't you frame up for us what the CIA is?
CIA is the central hub of intelligence collection and assessment for the executive branch, meaning the president, the head executive of the United States, has his own dedicated intelligence capacity in the CIA. And they're called central intelligence because the other members of the intelligence community, there are about 18 other agencies, all feed their raw intelligence into CIA. CIA then processes that raw intelligence into what's called finished intelligence, and then publishes that finished intelligence to the president.
Freedom! So fresh, so new. Freedom!